Hello fellow crafters, it's Miss Darling in the studio. Welcome, and today I want to show you a one signature journal that I made recently, and this was, kind of the goal of using up a whole lot of masterboards and journal pages that I had sitting around and trying to bring them together into some sort of cohesive whole. In order to do that, I knew that the journal needed to have a real wide variety of colors, and starting with the cover, that's exactly what I set out to do. So you may recognize this fabric. I use this fabric as the background of one of the large vases that I decoupaged just before Christmas. If you haven't seen that video and want to go back and take a look at it, you'll find it in my playlist under decoupaging vases. And I used the fabric, which I'd never done before, on a vase, and it turned out quite well. There were a few problems I had to overcome. The fabric does work differently than paper, obviously, but I had some left over, enough to cover this journal, and so I first covered it with the fabric, and I decided to use some of the extra fabric to create little pockets. And so I have two pockets on here. Here's one. The fabric goes up to here, and so the pocket is that big, and then on top of that is a smaller pocket into which I put a smaller tag. So you have the big one. That's what the fabric looks like without any tags on it. You can see how beautiful it is. And then stick in some color coordinated tags, and it really has a unique look all of its own. And I added a little fabric, it's supposed to be a flower. I had laying around a little pink flower, and then these beads were off of an old necklace that I never wore, and so I took it apart and used the beads. I have this little metal thing here, which, let me see if I can get that up close to you. There we go. And that says property of art department, if found please return. So I thought that was kind of appropriate. And then some lace around the top, side, and the bottom. And I put a self-closure with just, tearing off a rip of the fabric itself about a half an inch wide, and gluing that on early in the process so that it has its own little closure. And so we open it up, and you can see a world of color in here. And I suppose if there's a theme, it's going to be butterflies, birds, flowers, and lots of color. And this is half of a masterboard I made some while ago, and used that up there, and then on the inside back is the other side of the masterboard. So you can see how really just full of color and life, and just very, very interesting looking in every little square inch. So then this will have some pages that I did not create, but maybe purchased in and downloaded in a kit by someone else. This is one of them, and I always try to put a little heavier weight paper on the cover of each signature, and so this is on a heavyweight cardstock, and then this has been glued to the other side, and these are all parts of masterboards, journal pages that I made or that other people made. I think this is somebody else's. This one is mine. So, and then you'll notice that on the first part of the journal, most of my left-hand pages are lined and free so that there's plenty of space for journaling, and then art goes on the opposite page. and when we get halfway through it kind of flips, and so then the journaling is on this side. And so that's just how I did this, just using up lots of masterboards or journal pages that I had around, had not used, and I thought this is a great way to use up some of that and you know, make something lovely and very useful out of it. So there's a wide range of paper and color and subject matter, but I guess it's probably heaviest on florals. I love florals, and so I use them a lot. This is a painting that I did some years ago, and so we just move on. And periodically I would put a large pocket and then add some ephemera there. Here's a tag and a little note. This is a little note thing that, you know, just put together with some fabric at the top and sewed across there. Just really simple, but a little extra surprise. And I just love that. I try to make each page, each spread, a double spread, I try to make it color coordinated across the whole spread, not just one side. So you'll just keep flipping through. Here's the center, and I usually like to do something jazzier right in the middle of a signature, so that's why that's there. And because there's really no place to journal there, I gave 2 places to journal on the flip side. So you can see there's a lot of variety. Some pages just have pure design on them. Others have, you know, some sort of representational image. Lots of place to journal, even without pockets or tags or extra ephemera. It keeps it from getting super fat and chunky. And some people like, you know, just something simple, wouldn't take a whole lot of time and effort to fill up, you know, a one signature journal. And but it was fun to make and have it come to life. And here's a side pocket I stuck in, and these are a couple of beautiful tags. I think I don't know whose these were. I added a few embellishments to it. Might have been an Artie Mae's tag. Some of her work may be in here too. I'm pretty sure this is Artie Mae's here. There's just a lot of variety. I packed as much in here as I thought a single signature could hold. Here's another pocket. I may, before I'm through, add a few more pockets in here. And
you can't ever have enough pockets.
Oh, hello! Guess who just snuck in?
Hi, everyone.
This is my daughter, Swoop.
Hi. These are pretty.
Aren't those nice?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Those are beautiful.
I was just telling people this is a one signature journal that I made, and I just threw in all kinds of, you know, pages made from masterboards that didn't get used in other projects, so it's just really varied.
Are we doing a tour of the journal today?
We're doing a tour.
Very nice.
And just to see how, you know, how colorful and varied it is. I may add a few more pockets before I'm done. but this is that same fabric that I used on that art vase that I made just before Christmas. If you remember, I used it as a background.
Yeah.
I put pockets on the front.
How pretty.
And yeah.
I like that.
Cute. Isn't that nice? Yeah. So, I don't know, since I have pockets on the cover, I suppose I ought to add more pockets on the inside too, so that it becomes a true pocket journal.
Well, that's nice though. There's a lot of areas to write on, which is nice.
Yeah.
To like do journaling.
Yeah, I put tons of those.
Very lovely.
Like I said, on the first half, the journaling is usually on the left, and on the back half, it's usually on the right.
Good work.
But thank you.
Bye, everyone.
Thanks for stopping by. I'll see you later. Yeah, so there we go. And, you know, there's a certain amount of work that is required for a one signature journal, the same as if it were 2 or more signatures. And, you know, that's in actually putting together a cover and with a spine. I don't think I've ever repurposed a book, though I may one of these days, but I really like making them totally from scratch. And I do have several videos already on the channel that show you how I make a journal from scratch. And it isn't difficult, but it is probably a little more time consuming than, you know, just covering up a book that, you know, already exists. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this little tour through this book and maybe found some ideas that you can use or be inspired by, and that's my whole goal. Thank you for watching and sticking with me to the very end. I do appreciate it. Please pass the video on to other people you know who might enjoy learning a little bit about junk journals, or, you know, just how to put things together. And yeah, visit my Etsy shop if you're looking for more resources. And I have quite a few things in there, that a wide variety of things. And so, you know, go browse. And with that said, this is Miss Darling calling this a wrap. Bye-bye.